Welcome to the Progress Kendo UI Builder 2.0 demo series. I'm Shelley Chase, your host and software fellow at Progress. In this series, we will demonstrate how to use the basic capabilities of Kendo UI Builder. This includes creating a data object service, building editable grids, using custom templates, working with foreign keys, parent-child views, and working with charts. Each video is about 10 minutes long and can be watched individually or as a series. Let's get started. In this session, you will see how to work with charts in Kendo UI Professional. The Kendo UI Bar Chart displays data using horizontal or vertical bars, which is useful for displaying comparison between several sets of data. Let's go and look at the Kendo UI bar charts. The docs for Telerik.com, Kendo UI controls, we can see that the bar chart is a control that's available to us. And if you look at all the information on it, you can see how it works to show the data. And that's what we're going to use. Here's another sample. So you can do the vertical or horizontal bars, and we're going to use that within our sample. So back in the Kendo UI Builder, let's use our demo app that we've been using in this video series. And we're going to use our module to add some information about the sales reps. So we're going to add a view, call it our sales rep view, and the label for that will be sales rep. We're going to select the blank view type, which requires a little more work on our part because we're going to be using custom controls and dragging them and doing the responsive behavior ourselves in that view. Let's add that view, and you can see that this is set up with a single row and 2 columns. What we want to do is just make that have 1 column. That's the full width. So we're going to take this column and we're going to set it to a width of 12. This uses the Bootstrap responsive framework, which is always working in units of 12. Now what we can do is drag our bar chart onto our column. And you can see we get a set of bars shown here. What I'd also like to do is show the raw data for the records so that we see there, just so that we can make sure that we are seeing the right data. So I added another row, and in that row I'm going to add a data grid, which we're familiar with from other videos in this series. But again, the column I need to make the width the full size, so we're going to change that to 12. Another thing that we need to do when we use blank views is define the data sources that will be used in the views. And that any of our data sources that we defined for this project are available to us. So we come into the Edit Views Data Source and click Add Item. And we're going to add our sales rep data source. And we're going to pick DemoDP as our data provider, and we're going to pick our sales rep table. Page size will do 10. Let's save that. Now when we come back to the bar chart, it automatically picks the data source for us because there was only one available that we created. And for the grid, it again picks the data source for us because there's only one for this data view. Let's change some of the values of the bar chart. Let's set the title totals by sales rep. Let's set our values where our max value is 100,000. Let's select the field that we want to display here. We're going to display sales reps, totals for sales reps. We need to go down and set our chart series, where again we need to add a item. We need to add a column. So this time we're going to add the totals column, and the field we're going to select is our year quota. And that's a piece of data that we're going to do. So now we have, for each sales rep, we're going to display the number of, or the total sales for the year, and that will be on a grid of 100,000. We can also set a tooltip so that we can see a value there. We can set it to visible, check on visible, and then we have to pick what data model we want to use. Here we want to say that we're going to use our sales rep data source as our model. Let's save, generate, and preview. For our new view, we can see that we have our sales rep. These are done by our sales rep initials, which match our sales rep here. And if we look on the tooltip, we can see that we have sales. So for BBB, the total sales should be 27,702, which is the value that's here. Let's go back into the Kendo UI Builder to make some changes. In the Kendo UI Builder, clicking on the bar chart, we're going to set the bars so that they are vertical. So in the type column, the type property of the series default setting, we're going to pick column, which is going to set that. We can also set a label so that we can see the totals without having to hover over with the tooltip, and we do that by clicking visible on the label setting, again right in the series default settings. So let's save and generate that. And we can take a look at the changes. Here we can see that now the totals, 22,702, is a tooltip, but it's also listed as a label there, and our bar chart has now become columns. That's all there is for displaying data in a Kendo UI chart. For more Kendo UI Builder tutorials, please visit the Kendo UI Builder webpage. Thank you for viewing. Here are additional Kendo UI Builder 2.0 resources for you to explore.